Love and peace. Welcome to the Cornish Temple. Today we'll do the reading of a very old newspaper clip. Venus, queen of the heavens, being developed for mankind when finish of Earth arrives. Planet Mars burned out and dead while Venus is covered miles deep with water. Stockholm, April 29th. The planet Mars, an old dying world, is receiving altogether too much attention from earthly scientists these days and nights, while the up-and-coming young planet Venus is just waiting for a chance to know us better. This is the conclusion of Professor Svante Arrhenius, Nobel Prize winner and one of Europe's foremost scientists and astronomers, who lectured here on the prospect of weeding from the heavens the secrets of some of our celestial neighbors, and especially Mars, when that planet swings into closest proximity to the Earth 2 years hence. If scientists and long-distance radio fans really want to communicate with some celestial neighbor, the professor said they will not find Mars very cordial, for the old fellow dying or already dead is covered with hard, frozen sand and is so dry that it only rains meteoric dust. Perhaps a few seaweeds still exist, he said, but it is highly improbable that even low animal life could find enough to sustain it. He described as fantastic the belief that so-called canals observed on the planet were the work of engineers and attributed them to earthquake fixtures. Venus, spelling error, on the other hand, offers potential possibilities to the patient astronomer. Professor Arrhenius declared. By patient, he meant about 1 billion years, he explained. At the expiration of this period, he thought a flourishing colony of intelligent beings might be discovered on the bright little planet. Everything on Venus is dripping wet, he continued. The planet is covered by constant rain clouds 10 kilometers thick, preventing any rays from the sun penetrating to the bottom of the air strata. Life on the planet of love is short and intense. The planet of love. Living organisms, he thought, might be found at the polar regions where the temperature was slightly lower than other parts of the planet. When the Earth is extinguished, he concluded, it will be Venus, queen of the heavens, that will take over the role of carrier of culture. Morning Star, 1850. When pagan Rome found that the higher law flourished by persecution, her policy changed. She heartily embraced it, becoming its administrator, and when in possession quickly changed Venus into Virgin Mary. You know, the Son of God. They're giving you exoteric symbolism in this religion. But most importantly, with Venus, Noble Drew Ali said, learn to love instead of hate. He'll be the water through the fire. He was letting you know, and 7 days is a year. I've had this image of Virgin Mary sitting on a crescent for a while now, and I thought it was very fitting for this demonstration. I want to go back and look at what my great-great-grandfather said about Venus, or better yet, left for me to find about Venus. In the Christian church that was a pagan temple, it is the statue of Venus become the Virgin Mary. He says the same things in Morals and Dogma, page 296. For the most part, men do not in their heart believe that God is either just or merciful. They fear and shrink from his lightning and dread his wrath. Same thing Noble Drew Ali put down, that people do good for fear of doing bad. But not just because they love Allah or they want to be good. For the most part, they only think they believe that there is another life, a judgment, and a punishment for sin. Yet they will nonetheless persecute as infidels the quote-unquote atheists, those who do not believe what they themselves imagine they believe. The mysteries of Venus, or Adonis, and when you look up Adonis, it's the 7, the finger of Tahuti, belong principally to the quote-unquote Phoenicians, which is the Moors, whence they passed into Greece and Sicily. Venus, or Astarte, was the great female deity of the Phoenicians, which are the Moors, as Hercules, which is a Moorish science, exoterically known as the Straits of Hercules, just like the Straits of Gibraltar, which is also known as the 2 pillars of Rome. The ancient Persians, which are the Moors again, adored the sun and also the moon, Venus, fire, earth, air, and water, the 4 elements, man. And having no statutes or altars, they sacrificed on high places to the heavens and to the sun. On 7 ancient pyri, they burned incense to the 7 planets, and considered the elements to be divinities, which they are. Venus looked lovingly on the earth and blessed it. Mars, with his crimson fires, threatened war and misfortune, which today's Tuesday, the day of war. So I want to ask the Masons this question. You think Albert Pike was a dogmatic Christian? You know, your first degree going into Masonry, you got to put your knees down on the pillow and you kiss the Christian Helios Biblios. Do you really think Albert Pike was under a dogmatic spell of Leviathan? I think not. But we was just doing the demonstration about Venus today. Venus inspires the soul with desires while passing through. Venus represents charity. Venus, the name of the second gate of the ladder, material 10, which is Cornunos, which is the Cornish 10. Venus inspires the soul. 7 stars of the Big Dipper facing north, the 7 of the Pleiades, the Milky Way. 1 mother gives us all suck, the 7 cows. Now I know it crossed your mind when it spoke of 1 billion years, and you're like, what does it matter to us? We'll be passed away by then. But that's the carnal flesh. Time never was when man was not. We're thinking in spirit form. So just like when this vessel cracks, say our spirit shoots to the heavens, you may have to know how to navigate to go where you go. And if you don't know how to navigate, you're going to be lost forever and be taken advantage by your greatest foes. We did a demonstration. Let me find it real quick. Charting heaven and hell. All who leave the earth go to the moon, declared Upanishad, an ancient Hindu text, which is swollen by their breath during the first half of the month. The moon takes a crescent shape, they explained, when it is being swelled by the luminous souls that it has drawn up from the earth. The moon wanes when it has transferred these souls to the sun. To the sun. Noble Drew Ali said he'll be the water through the fire. The crescent moon, symbol of immortality, adorned funeral monuments of the ancient Babylonians and in Celtic countries. And when I say Cornunos, go look up the figure or the being of the Cornunos, who we know is our Messiah that always returns. He has his hands up in a turban just like Noble Drew Ali. And with this figure, they found the 7s around our necks. We was eating cherries. We had the Wheel of Anu, which we already have the Celtic troglodyte study. If pale skins really want to know where they come from, go study the Celtic troglodyte study. It's about 25 years ahead of its time. I leave you in love and peace. Divine honors the Prophet Noble Drew Ali indeed.